All right, Tuesday, we have, this looks like full body. So we have straight leg, dead to a high pull, double press, reverse lunge with single hold. Straight leg dead to high pull, straight leg deadlift to high pull. It's combining your straight leg and your high pull. Double press. I'm just gonna do I'll just show you the half version. If you know what these are, the full one would be all the way to the ground. This is your double press. And reverse lunge with single hold. So I like to hold it on the side that I am lunging. All right, let's break it down. So straight leg dead to high pull. So your straight leg deadlift is where you're gonna have a slight bend in your knee, but you're not gonna like overly bend your knees, okay? Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to target your butt and your hamstrings. So by keeping your legs straighter as you bend, you're gonna feel that pull. If you were to bend your knee while you're doing it, it's not gonna pull, it's gonna go more toward your quad. So you wanna keep it toward the back of your legs. So we're gonna do that hinger motion where your butt goes to the wall, your back stays straight, and you get that slight bend. All of this is pulling right now. That's what you're aiming for. So that's your straight leg deadlift. I honestly can't remember if we did those in week 1 and 2 or not. This is what your straight leg deadlift looks like. Butt goes back to the wall, your back comes down but stays straight, and your leg only has a slight bend in it because you want to feel your hamstrings and your butt cheeks pulling. That is your straight leg deadlift. Don't worry about going all the way to the ground. I usually, as you can see, stop kind of mid to lower shin. That's what's comfortable for me. So that's your straight leg deadlift. And then when you come up, you're gonna add in your high pull, which looks like this. Straight leg dead, high pull. Straight leg dead, high pull. So you're pulling to about here. You want it to look like this. And that's your high pull, okay? So it's just combining those two together. Now we have our devil press, which we did talk about half burpee, I think in week 1 or week 2. So you're basically combining a burpee and like almost like an overhead swing. So this is what your devil press looks like. You can either do full, which is down all the way to the ground, come up, take your weights, swing them between your legs and up overhead, back down. 1, all the way to the ground, press up, take your weights, swing them between your legs, overhead, 2. Or you're gonna do half burpee. Here, jump out into high plank, come back in, swing overhead, 1. High plank, in, between your legs, overhead, 2. If you do not feel comfortable holding onto the weights, just put them on the ground, put your hands on the outside, jump out to high plank, in, pick up your weights, swing, overhead. If you want to see from the side, high plank, in, grab your weights between your legs, swing into a circle overhead, okay? If you cannot get to the ground or the high plank and you need your chair, what you're gonna do is you're going to put your weights on your chair. You're gonna put your hands like we just did on the ground, on the outside of the weight, jump out to high plank, jump back in, grab your weight, clean to your shoulder, press overhead. 1, out, in, clean, and press. Out, in, clean, and press. If you can't jump at all, step, step, clean, and press, okay? So there's a lot of variations on how to do that one. So hopefully one of those works for you. And then we have reverse lunge with single hold. So we've talked about lunges before. You want to make sure that everything's pointing forward, your toes, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, and you're just sinking down into that that lunge, and then coming back. So with this one, I like to do all one side first because you're holding the weight. So I put up the hand that my leg is going backward. So that's how I do mine. So the same arm that's in the air is the same leg that's going back to my lunge. 1, 2, So you keep that arm up in the air. Then when you're ready to switch sides, switch hands. 1, 2, okay? So you're keeping that weight up in the air. I do have reverse, so I do want you to go backwards. It doesn't have to be a heavy weight. It can be a 5-pound weight, it could be a 3-pound weight, just something that is causing you to do that hold. Because anytime you're combining moves or you're doing a static hold while something else is moving, it's usually requiring your core to do a lot of work because it's trying to steady itself. So obviously if you have only one hand up versus two, it's uneven, right? So as you're moving and you're keeping that one arm in the air, your body is working to keep itself straight, to keep that arm where it's supposed to be, and then to also perform with your lower body. So that's why, and it's just obviously harder. So that's why we do things like holds with other moves or recombine moves, because a lot of times it's just making your body work much harder to do one thing. So that's your rounds. And then, oh, I forgot to show side planks, but if you've been with me before, you definitely know what a side plank is. So this one is our timer, and we're doing side planks. So because we're doing side planks, you're doing the same amount on each side. So we're doing 6 rounds, 3 on your left, 3 on your right. Okay, so your basic side plank looks like this. So elbow plank, your feet are stacked, and you just push up. You can hold your arm up in the air, you can hold it like this. This is your basic side plank. You can also do a high side plank. So that's really up to you. You might find it easier. Some people just don't like that. Like sometimes when I do them, I just feel a lot of pressure on my elbow or your shoulder, and it might get uncomfortable. So sometimes just doing it up on the palm is a little bit easier. If you cannot hold your body up in a side plank, you can either do it, I'm gonna go on this side. You can either actually just push up like a high plank with your hand, but on your knee, and hold like this. So you're still off the ground, but you're not supporting your full body weight. Or you're going to take the leg that would be on top of the stack and cross it in front of your knee. So take the leg on top of the stack, bring your foot to around where your knee is, put your other foot back on the ground, get ready, and you're just gonna push up off the ground. And you're using this as like almost like a tripod. So it goes elbow, foot, foot, instead of just elbow, foot. So like I said, it acts almost like a tripod. It's giving you extra stability in the middle to help hold up your body, okay? So it kind of looks funny, but as you can see, I'm not touching the ground anywhere, and this leg and my foot are pushing and helping me keep off the ground. So that's another extra support if you need the extra help with your side plank.